Hey guys, demonic angel, and you're probably wondering why am I looking at demonic angels random shit? You're not. This is Cemetery Libations. Each object here represents some thought process here in my mind, and as I expand and do these cemetery visits with you guys more often, seasonally, we'll kind of figure out what we need as we go along together. But for right now, it's going to be simple as fuck, kind of 90s style. Basically, I imagine someone taking a big old VHS recorder and stuff like that. But yeah, so I've been doing this for many years, just without this kind of aspect of basically sharing it. So cemetery libations it's basically offerings. It goes all the way back to ancient cultures. So in ancient Greece, people would take a drink of a beverage and then they dump some on the ground. Then that's for the spirits, the ancestors, anyone around without a physical body as an offering. And that tradition, really, you can see that in a lot of different cultures across the world. The pouring out of the drinks on the sidewalk, and then we have a lot of festivals, holidays, where people, will set out food, and, for the spirits. So that has to do with the fact that even though the dead they don't have a physical body, because they're so close to being in our realm, they do have senses to some extent, and it depends. I mean, some of them are, even though most can't, see us, some of them can, because if they just really hone their abilities, it's kind of like with living people, different range of abilities. These objects that have to do with the senses, really, and the elements, when they have these experiences and they're recognized, this allows them to attach themselves to the earth and these sensual, grounded experiences to help them process their souls, their trauma, their questions, and all that stuff. So that's basically what it is. It's relieving for them. It's just as you would imagine in life, if you were kind of maybe a lonely, if you were a lonely widow, and then at one day 5 years later, some kids start walking by every day home from school, and when they see you, they wave and they yell, "Hi, Mrs. Anderson," and that acknowledgement, keeps that person alive for another 5 years, right? 10 years, because it's just it's so healing. That's why, we as animals, humans, we do need each other, and so it is but it's also very spiritual and beautiful to me. Anyway, looking forward to the live stream with you guys in a couple weeks, and then let's just get started. This is some marijuana. You could use tobacco. Mix the two. Have a spliff. Different herbs. I will put some in a jar. So, smaller jar, right? This is LA Confidential. But, I mean, pick your strain, really. And when we smoke as an offering, spirits really are the element of air. That weightlessness that many experience where they kind of end up in the trees, and then, that's just kind of because spirits have an air-like quality. That's why people report them as disappearing, vanishing, because they are air. When they do materialize into the physical plane, it is, as we say, out of thin air. But smoke is the element of air, and it as when we do smoking as an offering, it allows the spirits to attach themselves to us, but for that specific purpose of contemplation. Because, you know, whether even if it is just, you know, regular tobacco, that is that kind of mindset that having the, you know, the masculine act of smoking and sitting back and contemplating the intellect. At least that's, you know, in my mind, a lot of different, I guess, customs and actions are, you know, masculine or feminine. And it's just the way I feel. But hey, yeah. So that's just that, you know, that allows them. And so, I mean, even in ancient Greece, this was the understanding that these libations invite the dead to be attached to you, a part of your energy for this, and that. And part of what is happening is that you gain the insights from the deceased, the spirit. So their trials, tribulations, their life, it gives at some point in your life you'll have a random insight that will aid you in some way, and that is their way of thanking you and elevating yourself. That's what you. In other words, what do you get? What do you get to, you know, from interacting with the dead? Okay, I have to show it off. Okay, I got this little pipe. Okay, it looks like a lipstick tube, and then you pull lipstick. Isn't that fucking cool or what? Then you pack your little bowl. And I like these. Okay, so first time I got these kinds of pipes, they're simple. This is for hiking, you know. That way I can have a little bit to smoke. When I get to the peak of, you know, the top of where I'm going, and I like to have that celebratory, yeah, made it to the top, you know, like that, whatever climate elevation celebration kind of. Oh yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, there's definitely a difference. Like, I don't just go to the cemetery and smoke pot to get high. I can get high whenever. And I use marijuana real sparingly, to be honest. Sometimes I will just leave amounts of it, just on the deceased grave, you know, just for them. And if I do partake, I don't do a whole lot, because I do want to be, you know, grounded to an extent. So I mean, you know, definitely be respectful and understand that the difference. You can go drink and smoke at home, but you don't, you know, this is for the deceased. I don't know. Well, I'll call them a whole bunch of different names, I'm sure. But we can just say, we'll just call them spirits now. That would just make it easy, I guess. Okay, so we have coins. You've probably seen a lot of people leave coins, and they have different meanings. Charon, the ferryman of the ancient Greek world, they would ferry souls to the afterlife, the journey. So, you know, the idea of death being a transitional time. So yeah, when you associate it with the military, a penny is like that you visited. So back in the 1960s and 70s during the Vietnam War, instead of going to actual funerals, other soldiers or, you know, acquaintances, friends of the deceased would leave pennies to let basically the deceased and the family, whoever comes by, know that they stopped by to pay respects, but they maybe didn't want to fight each other, so they wouldn't go to the funeral, but they're still going to come and pay their respects. So that really became a huge custom back then. You know, some people think it's like to make a wish, and you can. I mean, you're making an offering, and in this healthy understanding of a spirit and person interaction, if you have a wish that's very pure and the timing is right, they will do, you know, perform their little tiny miracles that they do and make that maybe happen for you a little bit more. So that's an okay thing to, you know, have here. But they would place the coins over the eyes and nose or mouth, so orifices of the deceased, to pay for their transportation to the underworld, because death is a journey. Life is a journey and death is a journey. So all those transitional bardo times, like it's called in Buddhism. Yeah, so we, you know, but a dime, which you will see me leave of, is that you served with the person, on World War II graves. I've definitely inherited, if you will, a lot of experienced my grandfather's memories. I love veterans. No matter how successful I become in life, or, you know, well, of course, if I don't have influence, then, but if I am blessed with success in life, these are a group of people that will definitely be in my hearts and minds, and I will see what I could do to help them. So that would be on behalf of my grandfather. And but you know, any coin will do. That is, you know, I mean, again, what makes this really work is that these are pure intentions. So that's really part of why I love cemeteries. I love that it's just raw honesty, because if you don't really have pure intentions, spirits, they will know. And it's like, you know, fake people in life and stuff. This is just real. And I don't know, there's a raw truthfulness that that's why I enjoy their company in appropriate amounts. So yeah, I got my jar, you know, for whatever you want to smoke. Probably bring a pipe, of course. Fucking lipstick. Now, this was for my husband, so you know you got you a good man like that. What else is there to say about that shit? So, okay, the spirits, they really like anything to do with the elements. And so, now I'm not going to bring this big-ass candle, but every once in a while I'll bring the smaller sort of votive candles and just leave them. I mean, if I sit and chill for an amount of time to whether contemplate or talk to you guys, maybe we light it, but you have to absolutely make sure that you're doing fire safety. You know, but that's just it's kind of like the next element we'll talk about here. Okay, I got me a ice cold water. So spirits are thirsty and hungry in the sense that they're not having that, you know, they're not doing those things, but they're still, you know, they're still tied to the physical plane. This is very acknowledging and relieving to them. So one little drink would you know help a living person a little while. This lasts them a really long time. Okay, and it's your thoughts and your intentions, but these physical acts too, just with the intentions, that's what makes all this really happen. Okay, so you pour a little bit of water out, and you're giving them sustenance. And that just, you know, a way to think about this is that you're giving them sort of time to complete their missions or whatever. Let's say a spirit, because not all spirits are confused. There's just such a range of experiences that they're having. But if they're confused, an offering of water might give them more time to calm down and start to reflect, heal, so that, you know, eventually they can move on. So it's not always going to be this big one moment dramatic moment the spirit moves on, but just a simple act of offering them that, you know, that's the sustenance that gives them time. That's pretty much what this does. Okay, so, you know, elements that, of course, these are the things that we need for life, right? And then yeah, let's see. Garlic. I will leave some garlic out on graves. This has so much different stuff in it for life. Range B vitamins, calcium, a bunch of different minerals. And it has fiber, so it's a type of fiber which has prebiotics, and of course, so you're reducing blood sugar. But this is something that, I mean, this could keep you alive. I mean, with the things that the human body needs, I mean, this isn't protein, but this is literally life, okay? I mean, these are the things that a body needs to function properly. And again, this in giving, you know, offering this something very this is a healthy thing. The spirits are attracted to strong smells because, you know, scent is a vibration, and this is this is earthy, so it's, to them, it's it feels nourishing, because it is. Okay. I do have something like sage, or yeah, I have sage here, and then I have some incense sticks. Now, I'll keep the sage, like if the energy gets heavy or negative, the sage, I'll sage, because that sage, burning sage gives off negative ions. That cleanses the air by conducting electricity, which are spirits, and, you know, residual energy, thoughts, all that. It cleanses this so that it's just to maybe bring up the vibe a little bit, like like I said, if it's just kind of off. Or it is also going to be part of when after I, you know, at the end of a cemetery session, I'm going to raise the vibration through either sound, smell, to create that light energy so that we can move some of them on after they, you know, convey to me their stories. So yeah, that's also, you know, it cleanses, but I mean, it's creating a vibration for them that is conducive to transcendence. Okay. So yeah, so as far as other stuff here, I got cinnamon, okay? Okay, I put cinnamon in my apple cider vinegar drinks. This is good for your heart, circulatory system, but it's sweet. So President Marbus from the Goetia loves this. But spirits love sweet stuff because that, again, that smell vibration attracts them. So anything that smells really good is conducive to life, okay? So again, this is something that's healthy and of anything of the earth, so that, you know, it's nourishing to them. Again, you know, they need the elements and the senses to be engaged in a positive way, just like we do. Okay, so speaking of other sweet stuff, my apologies, I'm just watching my time. You know, whatever, sucker. I even have, you know, because it had just been Halloween. Here's chocolate bar. I like to give these, you know, I don't know, a lot of kids' graves, but I'm going to be, you know, spirits will guide me, and I'll know who, I will know what to offer to who. So, you know, definitely even back in my last life, chocolate was one of my favorites. It still is. So yeah, you know, I don't just do this to every grave I come across, okay? This is just, you know, if it's right, it's going to be right, and that's what we're going to do. But you know, I just leave these little offerings because that's what the dead really do appreciate it. So I've got my fucking rotting bananas here. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say rotting quite yet, but you get the idea. Let's say that they were a day or two older than this here. You could take these still and go offer them as libations. Okay, the wild animals are going to eat this shit anyway at some point, or whatever. Grave staff will clean it up. But more likely, you know, wild animals will be able to eat some of this. And the spirits really do like that because it, you know, it's nourishing. You know, the animal eats it and then, you know, they shit it out and fertilize this whole cycle of life. And so we are part of nature, just like the spirits, and when we, you know, nourish the earth, the spirits really enjoy that. And again, tasting sweet, Okay. So, you know, if you're going to the cemetery or hiking, I'll put leaves in a bag that I like, you know. I'm just like, yes, this one calls to me. And I'll use it for spirit jars, you know, spells and stuff. So it's kind of cool to be able to combine hobbies like hiking and witchcraft, right? But it's, I mean, you know, it makes sense, right? That, you know, witchcraft of the earth, all this good stuff, because we're out in nature, so we're gonna just do that. So one of the other ones I like to leave on children's graves, when appropriate, is these are just balls, but they love toys. So little toys, I've left little toy cars on graves, little things of bubbles, candies, hair bows would be another good one, but again, it's just an acknowledgement, and little kids definitely love their spirits. I think it's because it's so easy for them to manipulate, and also when you go to the cemetery and you see the circle at the top, on top of, or you know, monuments, that is according to the ancient, you know, Greeks, that's the shape of the human soul. What do we you know, say with paranormal activity is that, you know, we see an orb, right? That's how pure energy manifests. So it's really interesting to me that spirits they really do like circle stuff in general, and I think that it, you know, it kind of gives us a little insight into orbs, but that just has to do with how energy is manifesting into the visual field, and it starts off as a circle and then takes form, you know, or a mist, whatever. There's that range, but very common for energy spirits to manifest as circles, and they can manipulate these types of objects very well. Even heavy circle objects, they really like. So that's just, you know, just some thoughts here. Another example I have is my kids like to do like little kid arts and crafts stuff. So here I got a black rose or whatever. I'm going to chop the stem, right? And then, you know, just whoever's grave feels right, we're going to leave that there. You can get real flowers too. They absolutely love real flowers. Flowers are the life of a flower is short, just like ours. And it is earthy, and it just is something the spirits really enjoy. Now I do have, okay, well, I'm just trying to go over everything I wanted to do. This is my outdoor blanket from Walmart, but you know, when I'm gonna do a libation of drinks, sometimes I'll just pour it on the ground, but sometimes I will, you know, oh my gosh. You got to kind of work with me on the cups here, but it's just the intention. Again, if it's so much fun to be like, yes, let's do this simple. So I love the simplicity. But, you know, I pour the drink, one for me, one for the spirit, on the picnic blanket, and then we sit and we have a conversation. So I invite them through, you know, by connecting with me. I make the offering. They connect with me. And whether it's through images or feelings, I get to know them. So we have a conversation. Just like you do when you sit down to have a drink, a glass of tea with a real life person. I love spirits, you guys. I love the dead. I just want to protect them. I want to make sure that they're loved and acknowledged, and that they know they know I'm somebody who cares about them. They come to, you know, I've known them my whole existence. So these are just some ideas. We'll mix it up, but you know, they really like that. I will wear this to the cemetery each time. The Ankh. This is the protective symbol of life. It kind of looks like the sun is meeting the horizon. It's where the heavens and earth meet, and it is life over death. It is protecting one from death and decay and degeneration. So by being around death in the cemetery, that is, decomposition. And when you have this symbol, I mean, later, the Christians kind of make a cross out of it, which is also protective, and the same idea. This is just, here's the womb, and then, you have the penetrative sword aspect, male and female. This is creation. So this is just life. So this symbol protects, and it helps you exude the energy of a healer. So you're there, you're manifesting as that life force. So that any astral parasites or degenerative death forces are going to be not able to attach to you. So that's just this is important to me, and I'm just telling you what I do. So I will talk to you guys later.